again and welcome back to another session of Commerce class with me, Suman Rathore. Students, in our last two sessions, I have covered 11 important adjustment entries of financial statements of sole proprietorship. Now today, I'm going to take last 4 important adjustment entries to finish this chapter. And then in our next session, we'll take a practical question which will cover almost all the entries that we have discussed so far. So let's start our today's session. Now before starting the session, let's just revise the important points. So the first point is expenses incurred for the year, whether paid or not, will be included, and expenses relating to subsequent years will be excluded. Then incomes earned during the year, whether received or not, will be included, but incomes relating to subsequent years will be excluded. Then items inside the trial balance will be recorded once only, whereas entries of all the adjustments outside the trial balance will be made at 2 places, whether in trading and P&L account and balance sheet or trading account and P&L account. Okay? So today's first adjustment is provision for discount on debtors. Now it is a normal practice in the business to allow cash discount to those debtors from whom the payment is received within a fixed period of time. But the discount such allowed is an expense for the business, and as such it will be debited to the profit and loss account. Then secondly, it will be deducted from the debtors on the asset side of the balance sheet. And for calculating the amount of this provision, it should be noted that discount is allowed only to those debtors who makes prompt payment. As such, first of all, further bad debts given in the adjustment will be deducted from the debtors, and then provision for doubtful debts will be calculated on the balance debtor. And then lastly, provision for discount will be calculated on the remaining amount of debtors. Now let's understand this with the help of an example. Now the accounting treatment of this will be like, firstly it will be recorded here on the debit side of profit and loss account as it is an expense for the business. So we will write it like to provision for discount on debtors. Okay, an amount will come here. Now let's understand the working note here. Now the amount of debtors as given in the question is rupees 2 lakh, right? And the amount of further bad debts given in the question is 2000, which will be deducted from this 2 lakh to get balance debtors, which comes to 1,98,000. Now on this 1,98,000, we have to create new provision which is given at 5% in the question in the adjustments. So here 5% of 1,98,000 comes to 9,900. Now the remaining debtors is 1,88,100. Now on this remaining debtors, we have to create provision for discount on debtors at the rate of 3% as given in the question. So 3% of this 1,88,100 comes to 5643. So the provision for discount on debtors is 5,643. Now the second treatment of this entry will go here on the asset side of the balance sheet as debtors, which was given in the question at 2 lakhs, right? And from this debtors, we will deduct further bad debts and new provision and provision for discount on debtors. Okay. So, further bad debts was 2000. New provision was 9,900 and provision for discount on debtors as calculated here is 5643. Now the net amount of debtors is 1,82,457, right? Now next adjustment is drawings of goods by the proprietor. Now sometimes proprietor withdraws some goods or cash from the business for his personal use, and that is called drawings. Now the drawings in goods actually reduces the amount of actual purchases by the business. As such, as first treatment, it will be deducted from the amount of purchases on the debit side of trading account, and then secondly, it will be deducted from the capital on the liability side of the balance sheet. Now the accounting treatment of this drawings and goods will go here in the trading account, because purchases are always recorded in the trading account and drawings and goods actually reduces the amount of purchases. So it will be recorded as two purchases, and the amount of purchases given in the question is 1 lakh. And from this purchases, we will deduct drawings in goods, right? And drawings in goods given is 5,000. So the net purchases here is 95,000. Now the second treatment of this entry will go on the liability side of the balance sheet in the capital. Okay, because it is a drawing, so it will be deducted from the capital also. Okay, and capital as given in the question is 1,50,000 less drawings in goods is 5,000. So the capital is 1,45,000 here. Okay. Now next adjustment is goods distributed as charity. Now sometimes certain amount of goods are given away by the business as charity to improve their image in the market. Now the accounting treatment of such goods will be that as they reduce the amount of actual purchases by the business, so it will be deducted from the purchases on the debit side of the trading account. And then secondly, as it is an expense for the business, so it will be recorded on the debit side of profit and loss account. Okay. Now this is such an entry, the accounting treatment of which will go in trading and P&L account only and not in balance sheet. So let's just remove this balance sheet from here and mark it as profit and loss account. Okay. For better understanding, I am making it like this, but you don't have to do it like this in your questions. Okay. So now the goods distributed as charity again reduces the amount of actual purchases by the company. So the accounting treatment of this will first go here as deduction from the purchases. Okay, so purchases given in the question is 1 lakh less charity, which is 3,000. So the net purchases here is 97,000. Now the second treatment of this will go here in the profit and loss account on the debit side. Let's mark it, remove this assets and liabilities also. Yeah, so the second treatment of this will go here on the debit side of profit and loss account as it is an expense for the company. So to charity goods 3,000. Okay. And next is manager's commission. Now sometimes in addition to his regular salary, the manager is entitled to a commission on net profit. And this is done to induce him, to make him to take more interest in the business. And since this commission is always calculated at the end of the accounting period, so the accounting treatment of such commission is that on one hand, it will be recorded on the debit side of profit and loss account because it is an expense for the business. And then on the other hand, it will be shown as outstanding expense on the liabilities side of the balance sheet. Now there can be two methods of calculating manager's commission. First, it can be calculated on profits before charging such commission. And second, it can be calculated on profits after charging such commission. Now the case for before charging such commission is very simple. So I am discussing it here. And the other case, that is after charging such commission, that we will understand while doing our practical question. Okay? Now for manager's commission, suppose profit earned by the business before charging manager's commission comes to rupees 30,000, and it is given in the question to provide manager's commission at 10% on net profit before charging such commission. So 10% of this 30,000 comes to 3,000, and that 3,000 is manager's commission. Okay? Which will be recorded on the debit side of profit and loss account, as it is an expense for the business. Now the net profit of the business is 27,000, which will be transferred to the balance sheet while making the final accounts. Okay. Now as we are discussing manager's commission, so the second treatment of this manager's commission will go here on the liability side of the balance sheet as outstanding manager's commission, as it is an outstanding expense. Okay, so it is rupees 3,000. Okay, that's all for today. Thanks for staying in tune, and don't forget to like and subscribe my channel. Thank you and goodbye for now.